What's new, what's different, and what challenges did you face?
What challenges? I think, I didn't know what to expect myself when I first read each episode. The same things you loved about the first season are, definitely there this year. But because of the way we told the story in the first season, it was very focused on, Elliot and how he was going to, go through this plan he had to save the world, and his relationship with Mr. Robot, and now we see the consequences and the fallout of the plan. We see the aftermath and how devastating it is, and from there you can follow everyone's life in the story and how that's influenced and impact everyone's character. So it's broadened our story. I think it sets up a really great blueprint for where we can go. There's so many directions we can now go, and there's just something in there for everyone this year.
What do you think is the biggest appeal of Mr. Robot? I mean, you are not necessarily good guys.
No, but that's what's the appeal, is that they're human. These are people who make mistakes, who have a little bit of guilt to deal with. I always say Elliot's got blood on his hands now. And, when you think of heroes, you think of people who aren't flawed. People who are morally perfect, and he's not. He has this very strong moral center, but ultimately he's not a perfectionist. He's trying to just live a normal life, and he has a very grandiose hope to change the world he lives in. And I think anybody who has a goal of that nature is by nature going to face some really dire obstacles that might put his ethics in question.
What do you think are the messages, the theme of Mr. Robot? Is it different? Are there different themes?
Yeah. I mean, we deal with a lot of characters I think who feel very alienated and disenfranchised. They don't have any control over their situation, maybe of their own lives. I think we question, hyper-consumerism, this world we live in, where we're just buying the next thing, the next device, and how we communicate with human beings. We question, classism, and I think this mounting consumer debt that the world has accrued. And our ability to affect change in the world. I mean, how much power do each one of us actually have? And how much human connectivity do we have? How distant are we from one another in this, ever-changing world where the pace of and advances of technology are supposed to bridge gaps? Are they only driving us further apart? I think we question the overall greed of humanity and just how greedy each one of us is, what our goals are, what our aspirations are, and how far we're all willing to go to get what we want.
How difficult is it for you?
There are a lot of themes.
How difficult is it for you to plug into Elliot's personality, and how do you continue to bring that to the role?
After the first season, I finally started to think, I have this guy figured out. And then when we were getting ready for the next season, there's a space of time that takes place where anything might have happened. And so I really had to prepare myself for that, and in doing so, I realized there was so much I still have yet to figure out. And I think about Elliot, a few years down the road, and how he's he's going to grow, or if he will grow at all. I mean, maybe things only get worse for him and he spirals into some really defeated place. I don't know yet, but one thing I can say is I never know where he's going to be, even after each episode. He's very changed. He's an altered human being, so there's only so much I can say I do truly understand about him. I mean, I would, at the core, I think I understand the guy. But the more work I do, research, and the more invested I am in him, the more I realize I don't know him as well as I think I do. I think that's a really great place to work from.
Sure. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like shooting VR 360? Checked out the activation the other day.
We had to shoot everything in what we call oneers. So, the way they shot Birdman, where there were these very long single takes, because the cameras are all mounted together in the 360 form, you can only use your best take. So, if you don't have a lot of time to rehearse, it can be very difficult because you're really shooting for your best take and hoping you're going to get one. And fortunately, we got a few on that. But I would say it's not necessarily an actor's medium, but seeing it all today with that audience, having this communal experience together was something that really made me, take a second and question if this is just going to be the way that the future exists right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.